Well, hi, everybody, and welcome into the Brownwood Lions Coaches Show right here at good old Gordonwood Stadium, joined by Brownwood Lions head football coach and athletic director Sammy Burnett. How are you, Coach?
Carl, I am wonderful.
You're moving a little better than you were last week, a little bit.
And thanks to Michael Cloy and his professionalism, he's getting me hooked up.
That's good, man, because when we saw you Thursday at the sub-varsity game, you were having a hard time.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I ran into some neck issues, and it was extremely painful. And like I said, talked to Michael Cloy, went in and did some tests, and nothing's wrong, just have something going on with my neck. So he gave me some prescriptions to work on it, and slowly but surely I'm getting there, so that's good.
Man, I'm glad, because that can be very uncomfortable, especially sleeping at night.
It's very dangerous when I'm driving. My eyes only cut so far. So.
Yeah, boy, isn't that the truth? I didn't think about that. Well, Coach, maybe the win on Friday night eased the pain a little bit.
Oh, sure it did.
Nice win over a very scrappy Burnett squad. You've 31-26. You've looked at film, so tell me what you saw.
I think we started off slow offensively, sputtering. Opportunities to move the chains, didn't do it. Got behind on the scoreboard because of it. Yet could have been worse. I think our defense made some big stops for us in the first half. We came back, kept fighting, tied it up right before the half. I think we went into the half with momentum, came out the third quarter and won that quarter with some special teams play and some turnovers, and just carried that momentum and never, what I told our kids, we're still young in what we're learning. I mean, we went through every phase, as I said on the postgame show. We work on what happens if we snap it in the end zone or we get a safety, or what are we to do? If we just let that ball go, they fall on it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
But Junior kicks it out of the end zone and smartly knows what he's supposed to do and stays calm, and you don't make a bad situation worse. And then we have to kick off and cover, and I thought our kids did a good job of that. So I never really thought that it was going to slip through our hands. I always thought our kids were still in control, and then I'll be dang if they don't throw a slant for however many it was,
80 yards,
60-something, 80-something, and we just overplayed it is what happened. I mean, we just overplayed it, and then they had a cutback lane, sort of like we did in a scrimmage one day, and the kid cut all the way across the green and scored a touchdown. We're still up by 5, knowing they're going to kick an onside kick. They kicked one. Didn't play it perfectly like we, talked to them about, but in that moment, those kids are doing the best they can, but when you kick a rocket at someone, you got to step out of the way and let the next group get it, or it's going to go out of bounds. But it was kicked extremely hard, but it worked out for us. We got it. Got a first down that we needed to run the clock, to be able to take it in, run the clock out, and finish the game right. All in all, I was proud of our kids. I think we do have some growth. We're still getting penalties that are hurting inside the red zone.
Yeah.
A couple of touchdowns, I think, taken off the board because of it. No, that's just that's what I addressed today, lack of focus and attention to detail. You got to be mentally and physically ready to go. You can't make mental mistakes, and you can't make physical mistakes, and we're still making too many of those, but we just got to keep working and grinding through them and keep it as a priority to focus on in practice, and maybe we'll cut some of those out in the game.
We'll get your player of the week coming up in just a little bit, Triple T. But you're right, Junior Martinez for a sophomore. That was a heady play on the bad snap. I mean, to kick it out of the end zone for a safety instead of giving them 6.
Yeah, he's cool, calm, and collected. He missed his first field goal Friday night, which I actually thought he made, but apparently
I did too.
Didn't. From my angle, it looked like it went in, but
Me
apparently
too.
it didn't. So that would have put the game away, in my opinion. But that happens. But if he doesn't make the play on the other end, look what happens. They get 7 points, and here we go. So you never know. So he's calm. I mean,
he is.
He doesn't let things bother him, and I like that about him. He just has confidence in who he is and what he does, and goes out there and does it. He misses a field goal, it doesn't deter him. He'll make the next one. It's going to happen. Just like a receiver dropping balls, it's how do you respond after that drop? Or a defensive guy not making a tackle, how do you respond after that missed tackle? Do you go play the next play, or do you start moping and dragging and feeling sorry for yourself, and now you've compounded a problem? And that's sort of what we're teaching our kids. But he's a great example of someone that keeps his composure and is cool and calm.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Did boot a field goal later and at the end of the first half, but Jordan Leach made a couple of big plays for you too. Interception as they were marching down, and then returned to kickoff for a touchdown.
Yeah, they showed that they pooched to the right, and the way that they lined up was different, and they pooched to the right every time, and we put Jason Jackson over there and then sort of sluck Jordan on the other side just in case they wanted to reverse the field, seeing Jason over there, and they kicked one to him, I think, to start the game. We had a decent return, and they said, we're not doing it anymore, and they started kicking over there to Jordan, and finally was able to hit a seam. And I told him, I think that's the first kickoff return we've had for a touchdown since I've been here. That was a big play by him, so that sort of set the momentum. I think that was after they scored, and we ran the kickoff back for a touchdown, tied up 17-17, and then also made a big interception later in the game to help us get the ball back. And then, like I said, we recovered one on a kickoff of our own. So there's probably a balance of good and bad on both sides, and the special teams, that may have been a draw on the special team side. I think our defense is getting better. We still have a long ways to go. We're still missing tackles. We're losing containment. We're hitting a guy at the line of scrimmage or behind, and he's turning into a 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-yard gain. We got to stop that. I mean, if we don't start tackling at contact, it's going to be difficult as we go further, because the row only gets harder to hoe.
Okay.
And we got to just start sharpening our skills. We got one more opportunity against Wiley on Friday. We'll talk about Wiley Wednesday, I know, but they're big. They got great numbers. They got a good quarterback, a big running back, a big offense and defensive line. It's not much different than what we see. They're starting to look like a pretty good-sized 5A school, and we just need to go compete. If we compete and we do what we do, and we play hard and play with passion and don't make mistakes, we'll be in the ball game, and we're going to try to wear them down, at best we can, and be in the ball game in the third and fourth quarter with a chance to win it like we've done in the past. So that's sort of our MO, and then we'll give our kids a break for a couple of days, and our coaches as well, let them heal a little bit, let them get mentally refreshed before we start getting ready for that district race, and kicking it off with a really, really good Midlothian Heritage team.
Well, as we know, special teams, as we saw Friday night on both sides, a very important part of the game. You mentioned Wiley, and we will talk about them, 1-3, but boy, they played a booger bear of a schedule. And a lot of, records this time of year are kind of misleading, because they go up and play a 6A school or a 5A Division I, a couple of schools, and we've had a booger bear of a schedule too. We're 2-2. They're going to be 1-3. So, of course, we want to win all these games, but it counts in 2 weeks when Heritage comes to town.
Yeah, they're 1-3, but like I said, they played Burleson, who is a very good football team. Then they turn around and play Monterey, which is big athletic school in Lubbock, and wound up getting a victory there. And then they lose to Abilene Cooper, I think, in overtime.
They were,
Abilene Cooper's got some big old kids and some good athletes, and then they wind up getting beat by Steamville. But Steamville's in the top 5 right now, and they're doing it. They're there for a reason. They got it going on right now, so they haven't faced anybody that is just a pushover. They've had a very, very difficult schedule. All
right, as we said, more on Wiley coming up on Wednesday's show. Do you know about tickets, though, for the game? I've already had people asking.
You bet. You can get tickets at brownwoodisd.org/athletics. You can purchase as many as you need to get. They really don't want to sell them at the gate. They will, but if you get them at the gate, they'll be $8. So if you got people coming from out of town, and they want tickets, I'd suggest that you give them the brownwoodisd.org/athletics and purchase those, so that they're not having to show up at the game and pay $8 for them. But best way to get them is online.
All right, there you go. We'll talk more football in a moment, get our player of the week from Triple T. You've got lots of other results from the weekend, Coach.
Sure. Tennis had 11 alumni, about somewhere around 11. Talked to Coach Blazek, 11 alumni show up and said they had a lot of great conversation, played some tennis, and just fellowshipped, and just wanted an opportunity to see, some of those younger kids, to see some of those alumni and people come out and see what they're doing, and just be a part of a family and have a little reunion. She said they had a great time visiting, playing some tennis, and just hanging out and having a good time. So I think that first alumni match was a pretty good success for her. Cross country, congratulations to the girls. They're back in the win column, winning the Gatesville meet. Kate Tyndall was 4th, Sydney Wyndham was 10th, Emma Stigmuller was 13th, Talia Kraft was 17th, Bracy Lee was 19th, and they finished first for, I think, the 3rd time. And what you need to understand, that's 4 freshmen and 1 sophomore.
Wow.
So
4 freshmen.
Yeah, their future's pretty bright. And Evan Fraze finished 21st for the boys. So congratulations to them. Girls are just rocking and rolling. And they got, like I said, a bright future with a bunch of young ladies. The combined team dropped their game against Heiko's JV. I thought they played extremely well, had a chance to score and then tie that thing up, but they wanted to get beat 8-0. The Maroon team won a battle with Burnett 8-6, and that was a pick 6 and a 2-point conversion. It was a close ball game back and forth, and we won that on a defensive touchdown. And then our JV beat Burnett 35-0. They're still on a roll, doing well. And then, of course, we won our game 31-26.
That maroon freshman, I think that was Ross Strasner that had that pick six right there.
Yeah, Ross made a big play. They flushed the quarterback, and he tried to throw an out route, and Ross worked on his technique and intercepted the ball and actually went and told Coach, what technique we've been working this week helped me. I'm like, it's amazing what you can accomplish when you do what your coaches ask you to do. But he was excited about that. And then the 2-point conversion afterwards was big, So like I said, they wound up winning that on a defensive touchdown. And what I want to say about that group is, I talk to kids, and a lot of times I talk to parents. Our junior high staff does an outstanding job. There's 5 coaches down there coaching 6 teams. Their plate is full. For them to get what they need to get in and get them organized and get kids to where they need to be and all that, and to know every kid's name, that's an accomplishment in itself. And Coach Chastain does a great job of leading that group down there. And but if there's a loss, it's the inability to do individual type work. That 8th grade group didn't have a ton of success at the junior high, and I understand that. We want them to have success, but when you get to the high school, they're going to get that individual coaching there, one-on-one coaching with your position, and whether it's offense or defense, and they become better football players and they'll get a greater understanding of the game. At the junior high, we want the foundation, we want the discipline, we want what it takes to be in a program and be a Brownwood Lion to be learned. And when they get to the high school, we'll build on that. So that little group's a good example of the successes that they're having, and they're picking up win after win after win now when before they weren't. But they're having a good time. They're playing well together. They're getting a lot of confidence. That combined team has played a lot of JV teams.
Yeah,
but
like last week.
Oh, I'm telling you. But, yes, I'm seeing growth from some of those kids, and they're starting to understand it, and they want to win, and they're mad when they don't win. But they're out there going and playing, and they're competing. And like I said, their schedule so far has been a JV schedule. They played a lot of small school JVs, and that's how it is. But for them to get out there and play those 10 games or 9 games, whatever we're able to get them, and to gain some confidence and some understanding, I think is huge. So I'm really proud of them. The JVs just thumping it along. They're doing well. And it's, like I said, varsity, we're young in our experience. But I think once you culminate that, and just mix it all together, and the future looks bright for us, coming into realignment next February. There's some exciting things going on. So I'm just looking forward to the future, and I'm really proud of our kids.
Yeah, Derek and I watched the combined game last Thursday up there, and they played hard. They played a Hico JV team that had 2 or 3 monster kids on their line.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to do.
Play good.
They get out there, and the only way to get better is to gain experience, and the only way to get experience is to play. So we're excited for them to get out there and do that.
Well, I got to interview our volleyball coach, Allison Smith, at halftime of the football game, and she's pumped for district, but they have one more non-district game coming up, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah, they're going to Burnett, and they'll play at 5 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. So sub-varsity's at 5 in 2 different gyms, and then 6 o'clock with the varsity. And then our JV boys and girls, along with our varsity boys, will go to Dublin and run in the Dublin Invitational on Wednesday.
All right. Then, of course, more sub-varsity games Thursday. Brownwood at Wiley, district opener for volleyball Friday at Stephenville. Busy times.
And then we got tennis and
that's right.
preview in Lubbock for cross-country girls.
All right. Woo-wee. You mentioned your junior high coaches, because they do have a bunch of kiddos down there that they are working with, and to know those kids and work with those kids and know their names.
It's a tough age to work with anything anyway, but, man, those coaches down there do a great job. They got a lot of patience. You have to have patience. They're learning as the kids are learning, but they do a good job of following the lead. And like I said, Coach Chastain does a good job down there keeping them going. Yeah. And we try to get down there when we can. Coordinators try to get down there when they can, and we try to help out any way we can. But their plate's full. You got A, B's, and C teams in both classes, which we want, and they're just doing what they got to do to get it done. So I'm really pleased with what's going on.
Boy, no doubt about that. At all levels, things are looking good. All right, Coach, are you ready to name your Triple T Player of the Week?
Sure I am. First, let me go ahead and give you your NASCAR report.
Oh, that's right. Well,
Stars guy won again. Kyle Larson, very good win. Had a little double team with his other buddy by the name of Chase Elliott, and they sort of defended off Kevin Harvick for the win. But I think more importantly, that was a cutoff race for the playoffs. So you had to have many points. And my guy was just running a good race. He was in third, running a good race, and had plenty of points. I think he was plus 27, plus 25, just getting into the second round of the playoffs. And I'd be dang if he doesn't cut a tire and have to go in the pits.
Oh.
And at one point, with about 10 laps left, he was only plus 1 to the good and wound up being plus 7. But whew, it was a major accomplishment. Our star would be really kicking me right now.
Yeah.
So, I actually happened to two of them. Christopher Bell, same thing, cut a tire and went down, and he almost lost it and got out. But the dominant people are Hendricks and Joe Gibbs Racing. All four of their vehicles made it to the next round of the playoffs. So it was an exciting race at Bristol.
Well, congratulations,
Good job, Star.
Kyle Larson. So where do they race this week?
Yep.
Derek? No.
I think it's Las Vegas.
Vegas, really? Las Vegas, New Mexico. Wrong Vegas. That's where my dad was raised.
It's Vegas.
Oh, man. Hey, I noticed, speaking of that, Tarleton lost this past weekend, but they're playing New Mexico Highlands out of Las Vegas, New Mexico, on the road. Good luck to Zach Strong or the rest of his bunch. He's had a pretty good first couple of games.
Yeah, Zach's doing well. AJ's playing.
That's right.
There's doing well. Got guys all over the place doing
Yeah.
some good things. So, yeah, congratulations to them. Kyron
Deal
is playing at Mary Hardin Baylor and getting some playing time. So, good for them. It's neat to see them out there getting after. Tommy Bowden still doing his thing at Mary Hardin Baylor. So, it's nice to see those former Lions out there getting after it.
Got some Hardin Simmons kids down there. I know Reese just had a birthday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Turned 20.
Can you believe that?
No, I can't. What's crazier than that? I had a kid I coached at Farmersville turn 30. I'm like, how?
No.
And what's worse than that, if we go back to Kemp, they're going to be in their mid-40s. And I'm like, hang on a second.
Yeah.
I don't have kids I coaches in the mid-40s. So.
Oh, man. Boy, Reese could run the football.
Sure can.
We
got another one of those coming through. Logan Mckibben, he reminds me a whole lot of Reese Rogers.
Logan Mckibben, I saw him. He's on defense
good.
For the JV.
Yeah,
Man, that kid can get after it.
Yes, he does. He's about Reese's size at his age. It's neat to watch him because it makes me think of Reese.
Yeah, you got two Logans on that JV team that are playing pretty well. All right, Coach, back to the varsity, though, and your Triple T Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's awesome to see, but Ethan Bessina's our most experienced player. I think he's got about 27 games underneath his belt. He plays center for us. He graded out as an 89%, which is extremely good for a lineman. And then he also played defensive end for us for the first time this year. He had 7 tackles. He had a tackle for a loss, and he had a pressure. Weren't able to get our tackles, our ends pushed back into the linebackers. He really held his ground and played some good football. So he was our pretty much. We opened the floor to nominations, and Ethan was nominated, and that was it. I mean, for us and what he brought to the table and what we needed for that night, I thought he did a great job. Colin Anderson had a great night.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan Leach had a great night. We had a lot of people that had good nights, but for what we were looking for and what we needed, we needed someone in there to step up and solidify what we were trying to do on the D-line and the O-line, and he did an extremely good job of that. And for me, I've said it 100 times, you can't win without a great offense and defensive line, and I thought they did a pretty good job. So congratulations to Ethan Bessina. He's our Triple T Week 4 Player of the Week.
Yep, going both ways last Friday night.
That's right.
And we called his name
never
several
missed a
times.
beat.
I know.
Just grind it out. He's a grinder. I love Ethan Bessina.
I can't wait to have him in the studio Wednesday. Hopefully he's able to come out here.
He'll
be a blast.
Mm-hmm.
He's got good folks, too. I met his
Yes, he
parents not
does.
too long ago. Good people right there. Well, way to go, Ethan Bessina.
Yep.
All right, of course, more on I think it's Wiley's homecoming game
It
Friday,
is.
too. So that'll be a big night for them.
Mm-hmm.
And looking forward to that game Friday. Then we have the open date. Hey, let me get your thoughts. I mean, Heritage got blown out by Melissa, but Melissa's a top 10 team too. So what do you think about that?
I didn't think it would be that big. You know, you never know what's going on. I know they got COVID in that area. They may have some kids out. Who knows? But I know Melissa's a very good football team. Another one of those, Midlothian Heritage is moving up next year to 5A.
Oh, wow.
I think Melissa's right there on the bubble. If not, it's going to be this their last opportunity. So they're both schools that are growing, have a lot of numbers, have a lot of kids out. I knew it was going to be a good test, but I didn't think it would be that bad. If you look at the Salina score against Melissa early in the year, Salina must be really something because they put a slobber knocking on them, and then Melissa turns around and beats a good Midlothian team. But like I said, could be many variables in there. We had 4 or 5 kids out Friday night, and no one knows that. So that may be their situation. Who knows? But
that's true.
They're going to be a very, very worthy opponent, and we'll do what we can to get prepared for them in the best way possible when that time comes, and we'll deal with the situations as they arise.
La Vega lost to a number 1 Argyle. That was a closer game than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's scary. I know they got some move-ins. Doesn't know how good those move-ins are. I see every PEPF that comes in, they got about 5 of them or so. But man, for them to play an Argyle team that's ranked up there and make it a 3-point ball game, I'm ready to look at that film and see what happens, see what they're doing well or not. So and the other thing, Argyle and La Vega just match up well. They've had over the last 4 or 5 years, they've had some pretty tough ball games. They play preseason, they play postseason. The MOs has been until last year was Argyle beats them early and La Vega beats them in the regional finals. So. They know how to play each other. They know what each other's doing. They played each other about 6 or 7 times the last 3 or 4 years. So those are always going to be close matchups when you know an opponent so well.
And, of course, we mentioned Stephenville just rolled over Wiley 37-7. That quarterback Lambert kid threw for 1,000,000 yards or something like it. It wasn't quite that big.
Yeah, he's good. I mean, he's not really a passer like you saw last year or the year before. But he's athletic and he throws the ball well. And I know that doesn't sound right, but it's the truth. He's not just a slinger. He's an athlete back there operating at the quarterback position. He does a great job. He can also run the football. He's dynamic, so he's a dual threat person. You cover downfield, you lose containment, he's going to beat you with his feet. He was a great receiver when he played that. He played great defensive back last year for him.
Yeah,
so he's just a solid athlete, and he's got them going right now, and they're playing with a lot of confidence, and Coach Doty has them rolling. So
all right.
We'll see how it all blends out when district gets here.
All right. That'll begin in a couple of weeks, October 8th at home against Heritage. But this week, Wiley, we'll talk more about the Bulldogs coming up on Wednesday's show. You going to do this live, or are we going to wait?
Oh, I don't care how we do it, but we better do the sponsors first for you.
Oh, let's do the sponsors. That's right.
Y'all just trying to make me hurt. Let's thank those that make this show possible: Auto Glass Magic, Avalon Custom Homes, Brunner Auto Group, Syntex Body and Paint, Syntex Equipment Sales, Citizens National Bank, Dan Hill Containers, Dr. Bon Young, Dr. Pepper Bottling Company, Edward Jones Investments, Hendrick Medical, Howie Enterprises, Humphrey Peets, Landmark Life, MC Bank, Painter & Johnson Associates, Smith & Sharp Agency, Sonic Drive-In, Stanley Chrysler, Texas Bank, Weldon Wilson Electric, Western Bank, and Willie's Teas.
Now, Star and I did this chip challenge last week, and you were saying on the show Wednesday you can handle hot stuff.
I can.
Hey, you better hold it with that right there. I'm telling you,
y'all are just trying to hurt me.
Don't. After you touch it, do not put your fingers to your eyes.
So here y'all go. I'm fixing to start coughing and spitting.
If something happens to Coach, it's Star's fault. Oh my goodness, he just took. Oh no. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all. Okay.
I don't know what's bothering y'all.
Well, man, you're a tougher. I knew you were a tough man, but. You're tougher than what I thought.
I still got to swallow.
Oh, my goodness. Do you need some milk or anything, yogurt?
Not yet.
Now, Coach.
Now let me see if I can keep that down.
You're going to have everybody going out and buying that now. It ain't so bad.
You might try the 2-chip challenge.
Are you okay? Hey, maybe it loosened your neck up a little bit.
I don't know. It's hard to breathe, but
get this man some milk.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Just in case, because it's going to get hotter.
It will.
Oh, that's funny. Look at Star taking care of me.
She did. Little Bluebell, little Borden's.
Ice cream.
Thank
you. It's really, it's not hot here, but it gets you right.
Exactly.
Here.
That's what got me. Oh, it'll get you down here in a little bit. Just wait. Just ask Derek.
I didn't cry or nothing. That's pretty good. That is
your
hot,
eyes aren't watering?
A little bit, but I've done a lot of challenges. You just got to mind over matter.
It is. There you go. Just like walking on hot coals.
Did it. 2-chip challenge next.
Man, I got to hand it to you. All right. We'll see what else we can come up with then.
He made us look really bad.
He did.
Have a great day, Brownwood.
Brownwood Lions head football coach.
Good.
I'm sorry. Brownwood Lions head football coach, athletic director Sammy Burnett, here on the Coaches Show every Monday and Wednesday here on KOXC and video streamed at KOXC.com.
That actually tasted good.